promise if you pray, I'll preach, and I'll be out of your way. All the NBA games are over. I'm not sure what you're looking to watch. Chicago PD, I'm not sure what you're looking to watch. Storage Wars, Shipping Wars, I'm not sure what your show is. But I promise you, if you pray, I'll have you out in just enough time for you to go and watch whatever you want or do whatever you desire to do. But I need your prayers down through here. I want to look at a passage of scripture that most preachers pull out at funeral time. But this is not a funeral, this is a celebration. And so we come to do just that. I want you to look at 2 Timothy chapter 4. And I want you to look with me beginning at the 9th verse. 2 Timothy chapter 4. I want to begin our reading at the 9th verse of the 4th chapter. When you have it, please participate with me simply by saying amen. If this is your custom to stand, then we acquiesce to your custom. I do share that the word is holy, whether sitting or standing. We thank God for his word. Amen. Beginning our reading at the 9th verse of 2 Timothy chapter 4 in the King James rendering. My Bible reads as follows. Do your diligence to come shortly unto me. For Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica. Crescens to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with you, for he is profitable to me for the ministry. And Tychicus have I sent unto Ephesus. The cloak that I left at Troas with Carpus, when you come, bring with you. The books also, but especially the parchments. The word of the Lord for the people of the Lord. Glory be to the Lord. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Amen. I want to look at verses 13 for amplification. The cloak that I left at Troas with Carpus, when you come, be sure to have it with you. Also the books, but especially the parchments. I want to talk from this thought, a look back, a look within, and a look forward. A look back, a look within, and a look forward. Dr. Williams, I discovered that reflection and introspection are always necessary to keep one's life in proper perspective. Through this reflective lens, one will be forced to look at the past pain, precarious and pivotal moments, mistakes and missteps, should've, would've, and could'ves. Introspection may inculcate unwanted memories. It may show us busted hopes. It helps us to see interpreted dreams and visions that seem to have vanished. Reflection, Deacon Cousins, may include sleepless nights, cumbersome days, endless hours, restless seasons, desert places, valley lows, impassable rivers. Dr. Blue, reflection upon our lives may conjure up some emotions that we thought that we had under control. Reflection may anger us because we thought that we had that anger subdued. Frustration once successfully fought, only to discover, Nikki, that there is still yet a remnant of all of these things inside of us. That's why we have to keep a song in our heart, testimony on our tongue, a shout in our spirit, a wave in our hand, a dance in our feet, a glide in our stride, a pep in our step. You got to be able to say, like the song I used to sing, I still have my joy. I still have my joy after all the things that I've been through. I need to share with you. I've been through some things. I've been through some lonely days. I've been through some tough times. I've been through some sleepless nights. Been through some times I thought would never end, but I still have my joy. Don't know about you, this joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. And the world certainly cannot take it away. The joy of the Lord is our strength. When we reflect upon our lives, when we look back, when we look within, and when we look forward, we will see some ups and downs. We will see some peaks and valleys. We will discover some joys and sorrows. It also will help us to recall some triumphant times, some victorious seasons, some abundant moments, overflowing opportunities, progress and promotion, pinnacle places and prosperous platforms, powerful manifestations. It hasn't all been bad. But reflection and introspection also will reveal some lonely places, some lost time, some loving people, some hating folk. It may also reveal people, places, and things that left an indelible mark and impression upon our lives. All of us in here have had people leave an impression upon our lives. Some hurtful impressions, some hateful impressions, some helpful impressions. People have hurt us. People have scarred us. People have loved us. People have cheered us. People have cheered us. People have wanted our falling. People have wanted our failings. But through it all, we must yet look back. We must yet look within. And we certainly must continue to look forward. My brothers and sisters, in this life of introspection, I've been crushed. I've been damaged. I've been nearly destroyed. Sometimes, like T-Bone Walker, he says, stormy Monday. Yes, but Tuesday's just as bad. And Wednesday's the worst. And Thursday's all so bad. The eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I go to church. Yeah, I'm going to kneel down and pray. Lord, have mercy. Thank you, T-Bone Walker, for injecting that theology for us today. Because when we look back, when we look within, and we look forward, sometimes this is a stormy Monday. Whatever feelings, whatever emotions, whatever decisions, whatever encumbrance that we have from this reflection and introspection, the thing is that we have to do a Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all of our heart. Lean not with all understanding, all of your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Dr. Williams, through the labyrinth and landscape of ministry, we've obtained some things. We've gotten some insight. We've encountered some people. We've experienced some evils. We've experienced the devil. We've experienced God. We've been sick. We've been healed. We've laughed. We've cried. We've mourned. We've celebrated. We've married folk. We've buried folk. We've Christian babies. We prayed for marriages. We've helped families stay together. We prayed for families who didn't stay together. We've been through the fire. We've been through the storm. We've been through the rain. We've been through heartache, and Lord knows we've been through pain. We've had our ups and we've had our downs. We've been right, and Lord knows, Gary, we've been wrong sometimes. These binary polarizations of our existential and ontological freeness of being have been eclipsed by the overwhelming love of the grandness of God's grace, the morning new mercy, His unfathomable forgiveness, and the love of God. What shall separate us from the love of God? Nothing. Through it all and in spite of it all, I can tell the world about this. I can tell the nations about that. I can tell the nations that Jesus has come. I can tell the world that the Comforter has come. And oh, what joy He's brought in my soul. Can you give God a praise for being able to look back, look in, and look forward? Paul, in his last letter to his son in the faith by the name of Timothy, just prior to his execution in the Ostian chambers of Nero's chopping block, He's writing, Cheryl, to encourage his son in the faith by the name of Timothy. This self-inventory summation of stewardship, service, and sacrifice. He gives Timothy the illumination and the inspiration and the illustration of instructions amid perilous times that we're facing the church. He further admonishes Timothy to put these things into remembrance. Study hard, Timothy. Show yourself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed when you rightly divide the word of truth. You need to give God a praise because you have a pastor that can divide the word of truth. For 43 years, this wasn't willy-nilly. For 43 years, this wasn't preaching by the hip. For 43 years, this wasn't putting it together on Thursday nights.
Come
For
on.
43 years, it was not finger popping on Saturday and stumbling in here on Sunday.
Come on, my pastor.
He put together a complex, concrete, comprehensive message that Jesus saves. To the utmost, Jesus saves. He will pick you up and turn you around. This wasn't a pulpit type of ministry with a pimp in the pulpit. This was a pulpiteer, a progressive man of God preaching a prophetic utterance from the Lord. You need to give God praise for that. Everybody making noise is not making noise for God. So what does the text suggest? I'm not going to be long. I just need 5 minutes and I'm out of here. The text suggests, Evangelist Burgess, Paul's letter was written from the anticipation of certain death from Nero's state prison. He wrote to his son Timothy. He gave parting words, as it were. Whatever words Dr. Williams has given you, you may see as parting words. But I believe that you should hold on to whatever he says from here on out. These are illuminating words. These are enlightening instructions. In a very real sense, Paul takes inventory of his contemplative context. I have a question for you this evening. Have you taken into consideration your contemplative circumstance right now? I mean, have you really taken inventory of what God has done? I mean, you're sitting there like you're lethargic tonight, but if you just take the time and think about just today, what God has done for you, you would snap out of your holy hush and give God some holy praise. No, you should have been dead and sleeping in your grave. Think about today, your contemplative context of what could have happened but didn't happen. What the devil meant for your evil, God meant for your good. And you still don't know how to give him praise. Turn to your neighbor and say, think about just today what God has done for you. Paul takes inventory of his contemplated context. What does he say, Gary, in verses 6 through 8? He says, I'm ready. The time of my departure is at hand. I fought a good fight. I finished my course. He says, I've kept the faith. There's a crown of righteousness waiting for me. He's taking contemplative inventory of his contextual being. He's understanding the fight that he had for 43 long years, but he's also understanding the glory that will be revealed for the fight that you had. Can I share something with you? That I'm trying to tell you that your blessing is on the way. Your deliverance is on the way. Your breakthrough is on the way. I know you've been through some stuff, but come on, somebody. There's devil for your trouble. If you contemplate the hell you've been through, today you can say hallelujah for tomorrow because God is getting ready to turn it around just for you. Paul takes inventory as he talks to his son in the faith. He says, Timothy, in verse 9, whatever you do, try to get to me as fast as you can. I'm not sure when Nero's going to kill me. I'm not certain when they're going to walk down the hall for me. I'm not certain as to when the gallows will fall on my neck. Get to me as quickly as you possibly can. The second thing of the text suggests that Paul takes liberty to expose them who caused him pain. There it is. Paul takes liberty liberty to expose those by name who caused him pain along the way. I'm not suggesting you do that, but Paul does it. Look at it in verses 10. He says, I've got to tell on Demas, Demas, I'm calling your name. Demas, you have been a bad boy. Demas, you've done me wrong. Demas, you talked about me. Demas, you've been evil for me. He exposes people by name. Can I come and give you this teaching that when you're going through something, you need to call it by name. When you're going through a storm, call the storm by name. When you're going through heartache, call out what caused the heartache. You might even want to call out who caused the heartache. I'm trying to tell you, if you expose the name, God will be activated to deal with the person and the pain that caused you this heartache and rain. Preached him doing the best I can under the quiet circumstances. Is there anybody here who had to call out the demon that was messing with you? You had to call out the hell that was bothering you. You had to call out the sickness that had been labeled you. You had to call out the depression that got you bound. You had to call out the things that had you crushed. Is there anybody here who has the audacity and the unmitigated gall to call out what's bothering you? Paul says, Demas has forsaken me. May I suggest to you, in order to get over things, you have to name things. Exposure is always the eviction notice and a padlock to people in pain that have you bound. May I say that again? Exposure is always a padlock to evict the things that have you down, to have eviction notice for the people who have you down. You just got to learn to call out the Demas who's been giving you trouble. I wish I had time. Paul says, I'm not going to glory with the stuff that Demas has done to me. I'm not going to glory bitter. I'm not going to my death bitter. I'm not going mad at nobody, because when I see my Jesus. I got two more. I'm going to get out of the way. Paul reveals who is with him. Look at verse 11. He says, only Luke is with me. When you take inventory, when you look back, when you look within, and when you look forward, you got to really find out who's really with you.
Yes.
Now, you got to really find out who's riding with you. Have you ever taken a look around lately and found out who's really with you? I mean, when you get into some stuff, you'll find out who your friends really are. When you get your back against the proverbial wall of life, you'll find out who's really riding with you. When you ain't got a dime in your pocket, you'll find out who's really with you. People will be talking about you. People will be laughing at you. Oh, but brothers and sisters, there's always a Luke that won't leave your side. There's always a Luke that's going to stick with you through thick and thin. There's always a Luke that God has provided. Do you have a Luke tonight? Turn to your neighbor and say, are you my Luke? Are you going to stick by me and help me when the hellhounds get on my trail? Demas is gone. Christians are sent away. Only Luke is with me.
That's all right. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Scholars believe Luke was with him because Luke was the physician. But I believe that it was beyond Luke just being a physician by trade. I believe Luke loved Paul and did not leave Paul. He provided medical assistance to Paul, but I believe that his love for Paul extended beyond a physical assistance. Not only that, Paul gives us a sneak peek on what he needs. I'm going to park to the field when I tell you this. Look at what he says. He says in verse 13, the cloak, Timothy, when you come, please have the cloak that I left at Troas. He says, Timothy, please. It's cold in this dungeon. And this dungeon is infested by all kinds of maggots and insects. I need the cloak to cover me up. He turns the air on real high, knowing that I'm going to get sick. Nero's an evil man. Timothy, when you come, can you bring the cloak? Not only that, but Timothy, I long for my books. He says, when you come, please make sure that you have my books. But the true teaching here is, he says, if you forget the cloak, and even if you forget the books, don't forget the parchments. Because it's the parchment parchments were dried skin, untanned from the skin of goats and sheep and baby calves that he might be able to write on, to leave something behind for somebody. And that is what life and ministry is all about, to leave behind some kind of testament that you've been here. To not have lived this in this world and not left nothing behind is a great tragedy. To have walked these mundane shores and then leave here empty with nothing to leave somebody is a great indictment. To have served this present age and not have any evidence that you passed this way is a tragedy. Turn to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, do you have any parchments? That is, are you planning to write and leave something behind so that when other people read what was in your heart, when other people read that was on your mind, they'll understand that somebody served God for real. Somebody was for real in their service. Somebody was for really anointed. Somebody was really delivered. Paul says, please bring the parchments. If you forget my cloak, if you forget my books, please don't forget my parchments. I just leave you with looking back, looking within, and looking forward.
Yes.
It may hurt sometimes because you'll see people who stepped off.
Yes. Yes.
You'll see people who forsook you. You'll see people who wouldn't ride with you. But you'll also have some loots with you. And you'll have some personal possessions that you can get back and then try to leave something for somebody. Now, can I cut across the field? Since y'all are acting tired tonight, I didn't mean to keep you so long, but when I think about his life and when I think about his ministry, I say he fought a good fight. He's finished his course, but he's not finished. He kept the faith. There's a crown of righteousness laid up for him. But guess what? Not only to him, but unto everyone who loves the appearing of the Lord. Williams, if when you give the best of your service, telling the world that the Savior is come, be not dismayed when men don't believe you, because he understands and he'll say, well done. Oh, when I come to the end of my journey, weary of life, and the battle is won, carrying the staff and the cross of redemption, he'll understand and he'll say, well done. But I got to leave you here. But come here, Longfellow, and help me help this pastor tonight. Heights of great men, yes, will never reach by sudden flight. But while their companions slept, we were working up, toiling through the night. Is there anybody here this evening that knows that when you do the Lord's business, you may get hurt sometimes, you may have to cry sometimes, you may have to be discouraged sometimes, but is there anybody here tonight that decided that you're on the battlefield for the Lord? You promised him that I would serve him till I die. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm on the battlefield for the Lord. Come on, do me a favor as I get ready to go back to Trenton, New Jersey. Would you grab one neighbor's hand, look that neighbor in the eye, tell that neighbor, yes, be not dismayed. Whatever the time you, God will take care of you. Beneath his wings, love abide. God will take care of you. Have I got a witness? Is there anybody here? You've been through some ups and downs. You to look up and there